This video is brought to you by CoolStuffInc.com, where you can find cool stuff in stock.
Hello and welcome back to another day in the arena. It's me, it's CGB, and we are playing 100 card Brawl. Sweet, it's still available. Let's go. And we're playing it with Galazeth in the command zone. So Galazeth Prismari, the 3/4 Elder Dragon. If you play this in paper, in regular Commander, you call this cheap Urza. Because Urza, High Artificer, is a freaking broken card that lets you play mono blue artifact decks. But as far as Brawl on MTG Arena is concerned, there is no Urza, so it's only Zool. I mean, Galazeth Prismari, who is going to lord over the artifact decks and is one of, in my opinion, the best commanders that you can play. The ability to tap your artifacts for a mana and spend it on instant or sorceries without sacrificing the artifact basically means that you get access to a ton more mana than your opponent directly from the command zone. And usually green is the one who has to do this. Kinnan is an example of a card that makes this happen a good amount. Golos kind of does this, although not quite the same, because this Galazeth can actually ramp up a lot faster if you have other artifacts, and we'll get into that. And yeah, this card is amazing. If you watch my other Brawl video, the 60 card standard Brawl video, I think that this is the best commander in standard Brawl. Not close. That record of 41-2, I think I got to like 50 something and 60 something, and then I stopped playing it. But absolutely insane. In Historic Brawl, it's a little bit harder. Everybody has access to better cheap removal. It's a blue format. That's something I really want to say. There is so much blue out there. You can't resolve your commander that consistently. So one of the interesting things is how many counter spells to play if you actually want your commander on the battlefield and protected. It's actually really hard to do right now in Brawl. But I've broken this deck down into some columns. We have a column for the artifacts, we have a column for counters, we have a counter for the card draw and selection, a counter for other interaction that aren't counter spells, and a column for the payoffs, the big mana payoffs, and then we have a column over here for the mana. And this is really a ramp deck. It's not a true control deck. The idea is to play Galazeth on hopefully like turn 3 or 4 after using some ramp artifacts, counter the opponent's next spell that would defeat the Galazeth so that you get to keep it around for a turn, and then when you untap you have 6 or 7 mana thanks to the artifacts you played earlier and the treasure that you made, and you use that mana to cast a giant spell that puts you way ahead. So you want to go early game, you just want to go artifact, artifact, then you play commander, then you counter the opponent's thing the turn that you play it, and the next turn you go big spell and take over. Not traditional control, more of a weird mid-tempo ramp, and it's a fun play pattern. It's very cool to do. I'm going to go over not every single card, but I'm just going to highlight some of my favorites. In the artifacts, we have a lot of cards like Cold Steel Heart, Arcane Signet, because on one hand, they just let you play Galazeth a turn earlier, which sometimes comes up and is very much a thing. We also have a lot of artifacts like Ichor Wellspring that when they enter the battlefield, they draw a card. A Golden Egg is another example. This is always a mana rock later, so it's almost every artifact you would play in the deck turns into a mana rock later when you have your commander, so you may as well play it. The only 3 mana artifact I'm playing, because at that point you really don't need that. Like 3 mana artifacts, you can run them in the deck and they do kind of fit the curve, but they don't leave room for any mistakes. They don't leave room for a tap land or holding up a miscast or a spell pierce. So the only 3 mana artifact I'm playing is Dragon's Horde. And if your commander is a dragon in Historic Brawl, you should run Dragon's Horde, because whenever a dragon enters the battlefield under your control, you put a gold counter on Dragon's Horde, and you can remove that gold counter to draw a card. In the meantime, it taps for 1 mana of any color. So it's like a Tome of Legends that taps for mana, which is pretty sweet because we also have Tome of Legends, and sometimes we tap it for mana because of Galazeth. All right, counter spells. I decided on about 12. I just want 1 or 2 in every single game before I do my really broken stuff. And I'm also running some counter spells like Miscast and Spell Pierce that help me resolve my commander because there's so much blue in the format. And I just want almost every spell I play to counter something that would stop me from having Galazeth on the board. While it seems like I should be stopping my opponent from playing their commander and their strategy, mostly mine is more powerful, so if I protect my Galazeth, I can usually win. Favorites, original counterspell. Let's just mention that it's here in Historic Brawl. That is sweet. All right, card selection and draw. We've got an interesting mix. I've got Brainstorm over here. I also, you'll notice I have, instead of some of the dual lands for red and blue that enter the battlefield tapped, like Prismari Campus, I have Evolving Wilds and Terramorphic Expanse to pair with my Brainstorm if I ever draw it. The mana needs aren't that bad for the deck. You usually have the colors you need because of the fixing that Galazeth in the command zone provides. Expressive Iteration shouldn't be a surprise. Solve the Equation is a really fun one to search your library for the big payoff. Narset isn't an instant or sorcery, but I still feel it must be run. Card draw is everything. Narset shuts it down. One of the fun ones here is Sarkhan the Fireblood, which for 1 red gives you a way to use the +1. You get 2 mana of any combination of colors. Spend it to cast dragon spells, like your commander. So this is a great way to overcome commander tax and play Galazeth at a cheap rate. So Sarkhan Fireblood makes the cut. If you have a dragon as your commander, consider running Sarkhan Fireblood as well as Dragon Horde. Now we're going to get into the targeted removal that is not counterspells. I'm running Lightning Bolt. There aren't many places to run it on Arena, so I'm playing it. We got Blink of an Eye and Into the Royal. They can also protect your commander from targeted removal or interact with all kinds of things on the board. A Braid can hit mana rocks, which is very important. Let's talk about Spitflame. Your dragon's a commander. Whenever a dragon enters battlefield under your control, you may pay red. If you do, return it from the graveyard to your hand. I don't know how many things I'm going to hit with Spitflame for damage to target creature, but almost everybody has some creatures. And even if we're only discarding the Spitflame to say a Prismari command or a Sarkhan the Fireblood to draw cards, you may as well keep getting it back whenever you play your commander. It's just more value. So Spitflame made the cut. Then we have the payoffs. How to explain it all? So many payoffs. Mass manipulation to steal all their things is fun. Blue Sun Zenith, drawing 1,000,000 cards and shuffling the Zenith back into the deck, that's beyond fun. And we can also do that with Explosion and just go face. We can do it with Finale of Revelation, which also untaps lands and draws you a bunch of cards. Ugin makes the cut. We're kind of a dragon theme deck, but Ugin's a catch-all to all of the nonsense that the format can create. Magma Opus shouldn't surprise you. Brass's Bounty is a historic one from Ixalan, and for each land you control, make a treasure token. So you have all those treasures, and you can tap all those for mana with Galazeth, and they stick around. That's how you make a lot of mana. Seagate Restoration shouldn't surprise you. Alrund's Epiphany. We actually have all the turns here. We have Alrund's Epiphany, Karn's Temporal Sundering, and Time Warp to take extra turns. So that's pretty nasty. They hate that. Sublime Epiphany, if you're going to counter a spell, this is one that usually creates a scoop while you're doing it, because you also get to copy some of your sweet stuff, bounce their stuff, etc. Shimmer Dragon is a fun one out of the Eldraine Brawl decks. You have to craft it, but as long as you control 4 or more artifacts, Shimmer Dragon has hexproof. Tap 2 untapped artifacts you control to draw a card. It's another really nice one that fits well into this deck, as it's often hexproof and drawing a ton of cards. Mizzix's Mastery gets overloaded here a lot. Storm the Vault is a fun one to highlight because it says that you get a treasure whenever a creature you control deals combat damage. That's not a big deal, but you usually control 5 or more artifacts. Like, your end game with this deck is having a ton of artifacts on the field. And that means at the beginning of your end step, you transform Storm the Vault into Vault of Catlacan, and this taps for 1 mana of any color, or tap to add blue for each artifact you control, giving you another outlet for all that mana to do all these broken top end things. It's the good stuff. Trust me. So that's the deck. Always not sure how much to talk about individual cards when I'm making these deck techs. If you have feedback on that, let me know. Let's dive in. Let Galazeth 100 card brawl nonsense begin. First game of the day, we've got an artifact, a counterspell, some card advantage. Let's go. Ashiok. Dream Render. Can't search their library, and our opponent comes right at us with the Inquisition. So we'll see what they take. Narset it is. Ghostly Pilfer punishes people for playing their commanders. It's not a bad card. Not particularly good card either. It's a little bit of both. Let's play the Prism and draw. Tome gets us Scries, but this gets us a free draw. Goldspan Dragon, that's exciting. Does the opponent run out Ashiok? They run out Teferi's Tutelage. They're going to try to mill us. They're going to try to mill our 100-card deck. Okay. This should be something, especially with a Mizzix Mastery, so we can cast these cards from the graveyard if we want to. There is a Faceless Haven over there. What am I doing this turn? We could hold open a counterspell and plan to play Galazeth next turn. I think we just play another artifact, though. Let the opponent do whatever they're going to do. We also may need it. We might need the card advantage if they just hold up counterspell magic on their turn. We gotta fight our way through all this somehow. But it's important to be patient. Don't panic because we're facing a Tutelage and a Pilferer. They might get a little bit of card advantage, but we can do overpowering things very quickly. We just need a little patience. Okay, out comes Ashiok. Gonna go right after the graveyard, I suppose. Well, the opponent knows who they are. And they are annoying. Mill. I'm going to call Mill annoying no matter what, because even as a control mage who likes to sometimes play Mill, I will say, how can you not find it annoying? Let's go ahead and draw this. Casting this on their Pilfer and their Ashiok could be fun. Yep, you get a card. I get milled. Good job. They know about the negate, so let's see how they plan to deal with Galazeth. Two more counters in the bin. Sword of Body and Mind. When equipped creature gets +2/+2 and protection from green and blue, I can't mass manipulate something with this protection. If they counter it, though, they can't equip it. So let's go for it. If they counter my negate, they can't equip the sword, which gives me an opportunity to steal your stuff if I top deck a land. Okay, so now we know our plan. I don't have the chance to upkeep Scry either because I need to use the tome for mana. So we let this go. And then we need to Scry, and we need to find untapped land. No attack. They didn't want to discard. Nope, nope, nope. Scry. There it is. Land. Let's go, baby. Mine? Mine? Feels good. How do you like it? I should mill myself for the mastery, huh? I can overload that next turn. Yeah, I should have milled myself. But don't worry, the opponent's got this. They've got this, I guarantee. They came here to mill cards and chew bubblegum, and they're all out of bubblegum. Oh. Oh. When you don't know how your own cards work. No! I need that Mizzix Mastery. Take the dragon, take the... Okay. Power Up Haven? Yes. I think that's a block. Since we can mill ourselves and then use Mastery next turn. I think that's a block. This is definitely the content play. Oh, 2 time walks! 2 time walks. Dr. Disrespect is no longer the 2-time. I'm the 2-time time walker. 3 time walks! 3 of them! I forgot the time warp was there. The 3-time time walker. The 1 in best of 1. I want it said every time you see me. The 3-time time walker. CovertGoBlue. Oh boy, Thassa. Yeah, it's a blue format. Only blue decks are allowed. We'll keep it. This might help us grind out a blue deck if we can resolve the treasure map. So yeah, I'm going to slide this map under counter magic. Because if we can't resolve our spells, we have to overwhelm our opponent with spells. A braid. A braid's got your number. Guess they... I guess if they have spell pierce, doesn't matter. Deramp you? Wow, manual taps before brainstorm. Smooth. Smooth brains available now. This gets blue. I guess we need it, which is unfortunate. I don't really want to keep that. Well, they tapped out for the clock. I think that means we go for our commander. There aren't a lot of ways to counter it for 1 blue. Our hand's not great, though. Pretty floodies. Pretty flooded. Oh, what do you know? Draw, go. Not gonna upkeep Scry. I want my mana available in case we draw something awesome. Globe. A little more mana, a little more card. A little more land. Let's see what happens now. You did nothing with your turn. Oh, I see. Okay. Making them draw it again isn't bad, though. Let's use this to counter something while we can. It does have kind of its own expiration date. You eventually they have enough mana that they can ignore it. Tezzeret. Create a Thopter. Draw a card. You get an emblem. I don't think I have to memory lapse that. I think making Thopters isn't that good. I just keep attacking them. They have to keep blocking. Or the Tezzeret goes away. Alright, our opponent found Mystic Sanctuary. They're going to put Graven Lore back on top and try to outvalue us. We have a big mana advantage, though. If we can find some powerful spells. This is interesting because we can mill that Graven Lore. I think we should try to do better, though. I think we need to find some powerful spells. Into the Royal. Bouncing the clock seems fun. Let's get the block from the Thopter. Let's get the block from the Thopter. There it is. Alright, let's flip the map. Because it makes more artifacts that we can use for mana. Oh. Hi. Powerful spell located. Let's do this now. Conflicts with the opponent wanting to play Graven Lore again. Here they go. Put that back. Prismari Command. In a way we could wreck Tezzeret, but there's a few things that we can do to do that. Do I want to draw, though? Not that badly. Let's do it like this. Enough! He's had it. He's at it, folks. Bang. All right. Our opponent has 5 cards in hand. Our whole game plan is on the board. Let's see what comes of it. They resolve that Graven Lore. They've tried so hard. And they've finally done it. We could have made them shuffle it away with field, but at this point I don't even mind, because we're doing that. Oh my goodness. How much is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 11. Oh my lord. I feel good. I knew that I would now. Whoo! That Shadada cards. What do we do with them all? We storm the frickin' vault is what we do. Yes. We pop off. That's gonna be so much mana. That is so much mana. Storm the Vault flips into a land that taps for a blue for every artifact you control. Brass's Bounty makes... Oh, we're gonna flip that, play that. Oh my goodness. And then Blue Sun Zenith draw our library or make the opponent draw theirs. Yeah. Wow. Clothis. Wonder how we'll fare against Clothis. Is Disdainful Stroke good against them? Doesn't counter the commander. But, I mean, I think we've got to keep a hand with, like, 2 artifacts, 2 interactive spells that are cheap, and Galazeth. We got to keep that. It's too good. Opponent mulling into Oblivion. You'll love to see it. Just kidding. Not kidding. A little kidding. I don't know, man. It's a 1v1 battle. And they've got Signet on the play. They're fine. This is fine. I don't have to feel any feelings. Nobody makes me bleed my own blood. Or feel my own feelings. Stone Rain. Sure. See, this is why I have no feelings. Because people like this come along, and they have to get wrecked. You must destroy evil wherever it appears. Do not blow up my dragon sword. Don't you do it. If you do it, we're not friends. We were never friends, but don't tell them. It's all I've got. All right, Oracle. Cool. What's this? Gargos, the Vicious Watcher, 3 green, 8/7 vigilance. Hydra's spells cost 4 less. Whenever a creature you control becomes a target, it fights. Fun. That is what we call a strokeable spell. Two lands, but we might have 6 mana. Here comes the commander. Here comes the general. I guess we can blink it. Let's Tails End you. What? You Stone Rained me and you have to run away? Oh, poor baby. Domri. Okay. Somebody actually plays aggro out here. My prediction, they don't play blue, so we'll destroy them. It's really that blue of a format. If you're not playing blue, you're dead. Sorry. Welcome to Brawl. Welcome to Commander, to be honest. Although Commander has a lot more options. Other decks can find ways to do things, but for the most part, that's Commander as well. Let's make some blue. Merfolk Branchwalker. There's one I haven't seen in a while. When it enters the battlefield, it explores, which can draw a land. And I guess we're doing this. What are we doing with it? I think we're discarding Narset. Narset against aggro is not nearly as good as Narset against everything else. Domri? Yeah, you're gonna have to leave. Watch that auto tapper with your Rivulet. Some might just run an island just because of the auto tapper. It's pretty nasty. Red. Come on, click it. All right. And we enter the driver's seat with GALAZETH Prismari. And a ton of mana and all the counter spells you could possibly want. I'll take it, even though I could counter their Bone Crusher Giant or whatever. Okay. We can wait for a turn, though. Finale drawing a ton of cards is really good. Charge. Hit. Draw. See if we can hit land here. Dragon. Would you like to play your commander again? Elder Gargaroth. Stroke. This is just mean. Oh, Team Dragon on the move. River's Rebuke could bounce their whole hand. Finale could draw us 1,000,000 cards. Carnage Tyrant, I cannot counter. But it won't stop us from doing a Finale for 10 or a River's Rebuke, which is... River's Rebuke is plenty here. Return it all to your hand. Brutal. Brutal. Welcome to Dragon World. So we could memory lapse it, but it does say counter target spell, just so you guys know. I can't memory lapse the Tyrant and have it work. Feels good, don't it? Feels nice. Oh my lord. Do we have a way to deal one more damage or take an extra turn? Not yet. Opponent might get another turn out of the deal. I think we're doing okay. Oh no. Oh. All right. Well, I'll just be here sorting my hand. We've got artifacts and we got counter spells and we got 1,000,000 mana. We'll just put all the counter spells down here. Tarka's Command. I like it. If they kill me, good for them. Like, really. I'll put it in the video, I promise. If they kill me here while I'm sorting my billions of cards that I drew, I accept, you know? That's fine. Wait, I'm at 1? How'd I end up at 1? I wasn't paying attention. Am I really at 1? I'm really at 1. They almost killed me. All right. This is the only way. Oh, no, don't leave. Oh, I was going to kill myself with the Rivulet. I was going to good game and kill myself with the Rivulet for content, and they left. They robbed us. They robbed us of the content. Oh, I was going to do it. I swear I was going to do it. I was going to kill I was going to destroy myself with the Rivulet. Corvold. More dragon versus dragon. Let's go. This hand is sweet. Like, it's a very good hand. We need one more land. I could use a hard counter and a card draw effect. And we'll get to see lots of cards to find it. There's a harder counter, so you like to see that. Let's get this on the field. It might have been worth holding, because if they have a way to remove it... Okay, they play Ichor Wellspring. I like that. It's cool in that deck. If they have a way to remove it, there was a potential that we could top a land and double spell here. Let's show them that we are also Wellspring gamers. Draw the land like a champ. Draw again. Lightning Bolt. Maybe they'll give us a little mana creature to Lightning Bolt like a goose. Bolting a bird would bring me back. Wow, pay 3 life for Agadeem's Awakening and Slam Treacherous Blessing. Our opponent with no regard for their own life total. You'll love to see it. Maybe I will bolt their face. Discard Thoughtseize, nice, and find Finality. Which means their hand probably does not suck. But it's okay. If they never resolve another spell, it doesn't matter what their hand is. The manual taps. Okay, Mind Stone, you got it. You got that. Why did they tap the red and the green for it, though? Ah, for Murderous Rider. That makes sense. All right. Go away. The top of the library with you. And you know what? I am going to bolt you. That's how I feel about your Treacherous Blessing, Agadeem's Awakening nonsense. I'm going to bolt you. We're likely to lose our Galazeth next turn because we can't right now counter the Rider, which means we're just going to play this for 6. Discard 2 cards. Should they be the land? One should be a land. We might draw a Brainstorm. The other could be a Lantern, but they might actually use their graveyard. This is actually a tough choice. This is a very tough choice. I'm going to discard the Tome. Am I really discarding Tome? I love Tome. It's one of my favorites. Okay. We're going to do it. Opponent doesn't bother with the Rider. They bring out the Corvold. I mean, you can draw a bunch of cards. I understand. It's fun. I've done it myself. So do we Rivers Rebuke our opponent here? Is that the plan? Is that the plan? Well, we don't have to do it right away. We can set up, because we have Time Warp. Time Warp is messed up. Sweet. Well, I don't want to shuffle those 4 lands that went to the bottom back in. That's brutal. Didn't know I was going to take all the turns. But why not? Sorry, Corvold. Ah, there's a new dragon in town. Clothis. Clothis. Again. We have an artifact. We have some counters. I'm scared we're not going to draw land, though. So I'm going to take my free mulligan. A weird, awkward hand. This is better. Man, people like Clothis. I think I'll play this in Scry. We really need to draw another land. Okay, they've got something. Nice. Okay, so now we play you, and we draw with Tome. Classic aggro gamer. Stomping that face. Here comes Clothy. All right, let's draw. There's nothing in the graveyards yet, so I don't have to freak out about the existence of the card. Here's GALAZETH Prismari. Protected by blink of an eye, sorta. We play the Relic, which is interesting. It also turns off Clothis. We can target ourselves. As long as there's only one thing in the graveyard, targeting with Relic will make sure Clothis doesn't get to exile it. Harvest. What does a harvest do? Finale of Devastation. Woof. Bone Crush'ems. So, get rid of your harvest. Your Clothy deal no damage. I think it's a bit early for Rebuke. I don't think Mass Manipulation on Bone Crusher is particularly interesting, so this is an attack for me, and we could draw and try to hit our land drop. I'm just going to say go. How are you going to fill the graveyard? Your Clothis won't trigger. Ooh, that's a stealable thing. It's also a lapsable thing. What can I say? I like to steal. I like the idea of stealing a dragon here. Let's bounce you and draw a card. I'm slightly nervous. If they have Heroic Intervention, my Mass Manipulation isn't going to work out well. I could have bounced the treasure to play around that. Maybe I should have. I'm just going to exile that. Brass's Bounty. I can have 7 more mana and be ramped for the future. You know what? Let's go. And then we'll rebuke you this turn. Make you play this stuff again. Feels good. Ah, what a feeling. Oh my god, Mizzix Mastery overloaded next turn. They bounce their board again, and we Brass's Bounty again. So much. I never should have exiled that blink of an eye, I guess. Although, I guess what would I blink, right? If we're gonna rebuke, who cares? It's 11 to 19. That's okay. Let's keep it close. Let's let the opponent feel like they're in the game. Maybe they'll let us make some plays. Maybe not. Oh my lord. If I cast this Memory Lapse, they'll definitely scoop. So I'm not doing it. I'm not going to Memory Lapse anything they play. I just want to untap and finale for God knows how much this is. It's not about winning or losing anymore. These are the lengths you have to go to play your cards in a brawl queue. If you're mad because the opponents never let you do cool stuff because they scoop, you gotta figure out how to put them like a fish on a hook and string them along so that they feel like they're doing things until you just go way over the top. That's just good behavior. I would like to use my treasure map. Very innocent play. My turn. Okay. QQ says 5, 6, 7, 10, 16, 17. 19, 20. Take them for the ride. You love to see it. Is there a time warp in there? There is not a time warp in there. There are a few interesting things, though. For example, Storm the Vault. I hear that makes mana. All right, move to end step, transform. How much? 16 blue, 17, 18, 19. So this is for 15. Look, if they beat me, they beat me. If they have some way to survive this, good for them. But I still have counter magic. It's beautiful. Just breathe it in. Oh my lord. What a deck. Muldrotha. One of like these OG commanders that everybody has to try a deck with once. This hand is trash. No artifacts. Can't keep it. No artifacts, no counterspells. This is better. Our opponent as Once Upon a Time. Ta-da! That's how you read the signals. Good sequencing. We're up against a serious Magic player. I should go blue out of principle, but we'll name red today. We'll name red. No, not my graveyard. So, we can play Galazeth here, but if something happens to it, can we afford to replay it? We can, actually. Yeah. We'll just run it out. We can't defend it, but if the opponent kills it, we just play land, play it again. So they'd have to kill it twice in a row, which is pretty hard. And I guess we can also play Goldspan Dragon if they kill it. Goldspan protected. So here's Cultivate. They're in trouble. They're in a lot of trouble. We're going to have Goldspan next turn. It's going to start cranking out treasures. We have Magma Opus to go over the top. Like, this is a brutal draw from our side. Molly, I don't know what Molly's going to do. Big Moles. The Drotha. Languish. Yeah. Okay, it goes to the top. They might get to resolve it next turn. Maybe. Actually, no. We just Magma Opus on their upkeep, and they don't, do they? We can get this on the field. Four damage here, submit. Go tap, tap here, submit. And now you can't Languish. Maybe you can counter this and still hit land drop and still Languish somehow, though. Let's see what you do. Murderous Rider, the Goldspan, that works. So that resolves. They're gonna try to stay in this. They're down to 5, and they only have 2 mana left to make it work this turn. Field of Ruin's probably not gonna help very much. Hydroid Krasis, baby Krasis for a blocker. You admire the fight. Oof. What a draw. The Savage Lightning Bolt, and that's game. Lightning Bolt showing why it's good, because it shows up on top of the deck when you're ahead sometimes and the opponent is clinging to life. Cameo. Cameo. Interesting commander choice. Very interesting. Very hard to choose what to name if you don't know the top of your deck, so there's probably a lot of things that scry. Our hand has no artifacts. That's really bad. This is better just because it has an artifact. Miscast might have a role to play. I don't see a Brainstorm, so we'll crack Evolving Wilds. Ooh, Signet right off the top, and we are ramping. Gargoyle. Okay. Dragon's Horde, come on down. Can't wait to charge you up with the commander. Jlight Ranger. Opponent's deck is already not quite what I expected, and they're just shoving cards into the bin here, and they make a 4/3 with the double Explore. All right. Commander, commander. Let's go. Opponent will activate the Gargoyle. They mill 2 Planeswalkers. What were the odds of that? Ugin and Vivian. All right, the 4/3 wishes to rumble. Come on over. And the Great Henge. I can't miscast that. Let's draw a card. See if we draw a counter. What a gamer. What a legend. What do I say to my opponents when they do that? What a master. Let's draw some cards. We're going to be shields down for a turn. Opponent can still block here. So they're going to get to play the Great Henge. We get to bounce it. We can also steal their creatures. It's back. It's back. Mass Manipulation doesn't steal artifacts, so that doesn't work. All right, one thing at a time. We're gonna play some artifacts. We're going to bounce your Henge. I'm gonna try to draw some land here that comes in untapped. Negate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. All right. Play this Wellspring. Draw another card. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Karn. Nice. That's big. Bounce your Henge. I was going to do it anyway. Karn's Temporal Sundering. And now, you have no Henge. You're about to have no creatures on board. Let's play the map. Get that thing cooking. Mine. That's usually enough to do it. That's usually enough to do it. Well, guys, the deck is brutal. If you want to look at some of the stats, check out the deck list link in the description and check out Untapped GG. Consider downloading it. It supports the channel. You made it to the end. Thank you for watching this video. As always, I will see you in the next video. You're cool.